Bitcoin's new on-chain guillotine. Bitcoin just gained the ability to programmatically incinerate its own UTXOs to enforce honesty in external networks. This activation, known as Babylon Phase 3, represents the first time Bitcoin has been used as an active economic deterrent without a hard fork or a centralized bridge. By turning dormant capital into a slashable security deposit, the protocol effectively converts Bitcoin from a passive store of value into a functional jury for the proof-of-stake world. Extractable one-time signatures explained. The core of the slashing engine relies on a cryptographic primitive called extractable one-time signatures. When a validator signs a single block, their private key remains hidden. However, if they attempt to double-sign two different versions of the same block, the mathematical overlap of those two signatures reveals their secret key to the public. Once the key is exposed, any observer can use it to execute a pre-signed transaction that sends the staked Bitcoin to a null data output. This turns the act of malicious behavior into a literal self-destruct sequence for the validator's capital. Think of it as a vault that only stays locked as long as you only speak once. Bypassing the covenant bottleneck. Because Bitcoin script lacks native support for complex conditions like slashing, Babylon engineers bypass this limitation using a decentralized covenant committee and pre-signed script paths. When a user stakes, they commit to a taproot tree containing 3 specific spending routes: a time lock for standard unstaking, a committee-signed path for emergency recovery, and the slashing path that only unlocks with a leaked key. This design choice avoids the need for a protocol-level upgrade like OpCat, while still achieving the same outcome of conditional ownership. It is an engineering workaround that treats Bitcoin's rigidity as a design constraint to be navigated rather than a bug to be fixed. Bitcoin as a global security layer. The activation of Phase 3 transforms the Bitcoin supply from a static asset into a modular security substrate for the entire multi-chain ecosystem. By solving the slashing problem without compromising self-custody, Babylon has successfully decoupled the security of proof-of-stake networks from the price volatility of their own native tokens. This matters because it allows emerging protocols to bootstrap trust using the established economic weight of Bitcoin rather than trying to manufacture it from scratch. The real implication is the emergence of a tiered security market, where Bitcoin sits at the base as a universal settlement layer for cryptoeconomic truth. This mechanism validates the idea that Bitcoin's script can support advanced logic without changing its core consensus rules. The primary metric to watch now is not just the volume of staked BTC, but the slash-to-reward ratio across integrated networks, which will determine if this economic experiment is genuinely stable over the long term. Subscribe for more